Because the people are your company at the end of the day. As we've worked on our clients' software projects, they sort of asked us, like, how do you find these people? Oh my gosh, your team is so great. Oh, we always get glowing reviews from our customers because we have great people to work with. That's really what it comes down to. My name is Alexandra, and as with many sort of startups and smaller size companies, everyone wears a lot of hats. One of my favorite jobs that I have here is I get to basically be the head of our HR department. So technical recruiting is regular recruiting, but for engineering type jobs, and especially for me specifically, software engineers, DevOps, web designers, UI UX designers, people where they have a very in-depth technical skill set, and you're recruiting them for that skill set. And so that means that I have to be very well informed of what those skills need to be. But on top of that, I'm surrounded by an amazing team that they themselves are web developers, DevOps engineers, web designers, so they can bring their expertise in to really vet candidates well. Over the years, through just building our team and being a software company, we have found that we are uniquely good at finding really good talent and really good people to be on our team. And of course, that's core to staff augmentation. We want to have the best team members to then be able to provide for our clients and their software teams. When I talk with a recruiter who is recruiting for every industry, of course, they can't possibly be deep in every industry, so I don't expect that. But it does become a problem when they can't discern which candidates are actually good at what they do or which candidates just have a shiny resume. I have one story, which is the worst experience. So it's the worst example. Of course, not all of them are this bad, where, I explained Bixley's company culture. We're very much communal. We have a great company culture here. We're very inclusive, that sort of thing. And he went off and did the interviews. I provided them with the interview questions. And he came back with the transcript from this interview with this candidate who was talking all about how successful he was going to be and how he has all his side projects and, how he invites hot chicks over to his house for parties to get his buddies to invest in his projects. And I thought, I don't think you understand the assignment here. We're really not interested in people who describe women as hot chicks, and use them as fodder for in parties and that sort of thing. And so that's the kind of thing where you come back sometimes with these interviews and you go, this person doesn't understand at all what we're looking for. And I think that's the value of working with Bixley, is that I really do spend the time to understand what your team looks like, what your goals look like, what your tech stack is, what your culture is. I think what sets Bixley apart from other recruiting agencies is that we're engineers recruiting other engineers. So that means that I don't do this by myself. I have a tech team that comes alongside me. They themselves are software engineers, DevOps engineers, designers who work on projects actively for our company. And they come alongside me and we vet them, we test them. Those tests get reviewed by real people, not AI, who actually look at their code and say, oh yeah, I can tell that this guy, oh yeah, he's really experienced. I can tell this person's put in a lot of years. Or this candidate, she's a really good designer. She has a lot of talent, but maybe she doesn't have as much experience. I can tell because of these types of mistakes that they're making, or whatever the case may be. So because we have people with decades of experience in the industry reviewing and vetting their tests and coming alongside my ability to interview them, to really get to know them on an interpersonal level, that combined means that we have a fantastic vetting process. And it's a vetting process that has worked for our company for the past, since 2008. And we consistently find great talent who are also amazing people to work with. And this is something that we have found has been a frustration for some of our clients. So we finally said, why not help out our clients with this area? Because it can be very challenging to set up a recruiting pipeline that's going to be successful, that really consistently allows you to screen candidates for what you're looking for. So the basic process is that they do a phone screen with me. This is a quick interview where I really get to understand their personality, what their work style is like, what their experience is, and I ask them a few technical questions and logic-based questions that are quickly vet them. And if you can't really pass these, then you're not going to be able to do the job. If they can pass those, then they go on to the technical test, and that's where they do some coding for us. They do something technical within their field. And that code sample then goes to the developers on our team. They take a look at it, they assess it, and if they pass that portion, then they're a pretty darn good developer. It's a pretty solid test that will allow us to understand what their skill level is. So once they pass that test, then they do a much longer in-person or video conference interview with our COO and a senior developer or a senior level person in their area of expertise to assess them again further on those technical sides, also ask them questions about the technical tests that they submitted for us. And that's usually enough for us to really understand all of those different dynamics of how they'll fit within a team and what their capabilities really are underneath the hood. If we need to do an additional interview after that, then we may do so, especially if we're down to a few candidates. But we like to keep it simple, short, sweet, and just get right to the bones of, are you a good cultural fit and can you do the job? So what the process will look like is that you'll actually have a discovery call with me. I will talk with you directly about how many people you're looking to hire, what roles you're looking for, what your project is that you're looking to build, what's your tech stack, what's your company culture, what's your values. And based on that, I will develop the interview questions in order to help me assess whether or not the person fits that profile or those multiple profiles if you have multiple jobs that you're sourcing for. And then we run them through our vetting process, and at the end of that, we'll come back with our recommended candidates of people that we put our Bixley stamp of approval. They're the sort of people that we would hire. We'll put them in front of you and give you a full portfolio of their resume, their interviews, our notes on their test, that sort of thing, so you can make a decision from there. Using Bixley for the service is a really good value. We know that age-old wisdom, slow to hire, quick to fire. So putting the right people on your team, especially the right people in the right positions on your team, is so, so important to you, the success of your company. It is something that is make it or break it. And it can cost you months of work to undo programming that wasn't done properly because you hired someone who was too junior, who didn't really know what they were doing, or it was not in a tech stack that they were really familiar with or really expert in. And so we can save you months and months worth of headaches. We can save you the HR headaches of trying to, put somebody in a performance management type of program, and actually just find you the people who are great for your team, kick it off, who can do the work that's put before them, and just move forward. There's going to be a link down in the description. You can check us out for our technical recruiting. And if you're ready to build your team, we're ready to build it alongside of you.